Are you feeling disappointed with your health progress lately? Well, you are not alone there. I planned this video for the end of this year because the season is especially tough. The holidays offer many temptations that pull you away from your health goals, and they can also pull on your time, your energy, and your routines. On top of that, all those new year, new you messages start showing up everywhere. Many people begin making long lists of resolutions that they want to do to improve their health in the new year. On paper, it can look inspiring, but inside, it can feel strangely familiar. For a lot of people, the New Year's season brings up old memories of setting goals, trying hard for a few weeks, and then watching the plan fall apart by February. Each new January can remind you of all those past attempts that did not last. And that can chip away at self confidence and make your health goals feel further and further out of reach. And if you found this video at some other time of the year, the message can still apply. If you feel like you have started and stopped so many times, or you are having trouble getting any sort of momentum going, then this video can help you. Hi, I'm Valerie, a registered nurse and health educator. And on this channel, I focus on realistic, science based ways to protect your long term health and longevity. This video is going to be a little bit different because I will be focusing on strategies that can help make behavior change happen instead of what behaviors make a difference. I will be covering two tools that I use every day with my own health and with the health of my clients. These are simple tools, but can really make a big difference when you are trying to make changes that will improve your health. One is about getting very clear on what you actually want and how you plan to get there. The other is one very important question that can help you take the next step, even on the days that you feel stuck, tired, or discouraged. My hope is that after watching this video, you will feel more steady inside your own health improvement process and a little more trusting that you can follow through on what you say you want for your health. A lot of people feel inconsistent with health habits, not because they are lazy or unmotivated, but because their goals are a bit fuzzy. And the brain does not work well with fuzziness. It treats vague plans like I need to be healthier or I need to get my blood sugar under control as a kind of mental background noise. Think about how many times you might have said things like, I have to eat better, or I need to exercise more, or I should really deal with my cholesterol. When goals are this broad, your nervous system senses that the task is endless. That creates tension, and the body often responds by avoiding the whole thing. You are not failing at your goals. Your goal is too large and blurry to guide your daily choices. So, the first tool I want to give you is clarity. Just honest clarity about what you actually want and what you are currently asking of yourself. Clarity starts with honest questions that you ask yourself. Many people try to fix their health with stricter rules or more pressure instead of pausing to understand what they are really aiming for and what season of life they are in right now. You can start with something as simple as a quiet moment and a piece of paper. Ask yourself, what is the main area of my health I care about most right now? Maybe it's your blood pressure, or could be your blood sugar, your weight, your joint pain, your cholesterol, or feeling less inflamed and more energetic. Naming one or two priorities already brings more focus than a vague idea of just getting healthy. Then you can add, what do I actually want to be different in the next 3 or 4 months? Not someday, not 10 years from now, just this next stretch of time. You might realize that you want your morning blood sugars to come down a bit, or your knees to hurt less when you go up and down the stairs, or your next cholesterol panel to show some improvement. When you picture a real change in your daily life or in a lab result, your brain has something concrete to work toward. Another helpful question might be to ask yourself, what am I currently expecting myself to change all at once? Many people discover that they are trying to overhaul too much at once. Taking on changes to food, exercise, sleep, stress, and weight all in the same month can be overwhelming. Instead, ask yourself, If I had to choose which one or two behavior changes would make the biggest difference for my health right now, that might be taking medication consistently, adding a short walk after dinner, or adding a serving of vegetables to your usual lunch. It can also be useful to ask what has actually helped me in the past, even if just a little. Maybe you remember that packing lunch the night before made your mornings easier, or that moving your body during lunch break helped your joints feel less stiff. Noticing these patterns gives you clues about what is realistic for you, not just what sounds good in theory or what the perfect influencers are doing on Instagram. Finally, you can ask, what gets in the way when I try to do these things? And be very kind and honest with your answer. Fatigue, pain, caregiving responsibilities, work stress, and emotional eating are real barriers, not personal flaws. Seeing them clearly allows you to plan for smaller, kinder steps instead of pretending they are not there. Clarity gives you a clearer picture of what you want and makes it easier to adopt more consistent, healthy habits. Once you have a clearer sense of your direction, the next challenge is staying consistent day to day. This is where the second tool comes in, and it is a single question I return to constantly in my own life. That question is, what is the smallest thing I can do right now for my health? When people feel stuck with their health, it is rarely because they know nothing about what to do. Most people have a long mental list of things that they should be doing. And that list of shoulds can be way too much to keep track of in one moment. By asking for the smallest thing you can do, you shrink the picture. You are not asking, how do I fix my health? You are asking, what is one tiny health improvement action that is realistic? That might be drinking a glass of water before you grab another snack. It could be standing up and marching in place while the microwave runs. It might be putting your walking shoes by the door so that an evening walk is just 5% easier. The key idea here is that one tiny action is possible. It gives your brain a single unit to execute instead of a giant cloud of shoulds. Many people hide perfectionism behind planning and research. They think once I find the perfect diet or once I set up the perfect exercise routine, then real change will begin. Then I will be able to improve my health. The problem is that perfection never quite arrives. And in the meantime, no beneficial behaviors are happening consistently. But when you ask, what is the smallest thing I can do? You change how you define success. Success is no longer, I followed my perfect plan perfectly all day. Success becomes, I performed an action that supports my health. For example, imagine a day where you planned a 20-minute walk, cooking a healthy dinner, and then going to bed earlier. And then work ran late, you felt exhausted, and none of that happened. In an old pattern, that might turn into, I blew it, I'll just start over Monday, and maybe some comfort eating on top of the frustration. With this new smallest thing question, that same evening might look like this. You sit on the edge of your bed and ask, what is the smallest thing I can do right now? The answer might be 3 slow stretches for your back, or 2 minutes of relaxed breathing before you turn off your light, or setting out some clothes and your sneakers so you can sneak in a 10-minute walk in the morning. That's it. Tiny, almost unremarkable, and yet you followed through on something you said you would do. Each one of these tiny actions leads to a new health identity. You start to feel that when you say you will do something for your health, you do it. Those small successes build self-trust. Your brain learns that health actions are not huge threats. They are small, safe behaviors that you can complete even on your hardest days. Over time, this approach calms the stress response and internal resistance around health goals. To bring this into real life, imagine one specific area of your health that you care about right now. So maybe it's your blood pressure or other aspects of your heart health, blood sugar, joint pain, cholesterol, or just feeling less inflamed and more mobile day to day, name it clearly to yourself. Next, give yourself a short clarity check. Ask, what do I actually want in this area over the next few months? Not for the rest of your life, just for this season. You might say, I want my morning blood sugars to come down a little, or I want to be able to walk around the block without so much knee pain, or I want my next cholesterol panel to show some improvement. Then ask one more question. What is the smallest thing that I can do that lines up with that goal? If the focus is blood sugar, maybe the smallest thing is a 5-minute walk after one meal. If it is joint pain, maybe it is doing some gentle range of motion movements while your coffee brews, or skipping the inflammatory sugar in that coffee. If it is blood pressure, maybe it's taking your medication on time and spending just 2 minutes on slow exhalation breathing to calm your nervous system. These are not dramatic, but that is the point. Small, repeated successes allow you to slowly and realistically build a protective wall of healthy habits. And there will be days when you do more, and those days are wonderful. The pattern that changes health, though, comes from the days when you do not abandon yourself completely. On the messy days, you still ask the smallest thing question and you still follow through on something tiny. You're teaching your brain and body that you can be consistent, even in imperfect conditions. If you have been feeling disappointed in yourself, please know that struggling with consistency does not mean that you are weak, and it does not erase everything that you have already tried. It usually means that you have been carrying around some vague, heavy goals and expecting yourself to overhaul too many aspects of your life all at once. So now you have two simple tools. First, seek clarity. Ask honest questions about what you truly want for your health over the next few months and what specific behaviors support that focus. Second, in the middle of real life, keep asking, what is the smallest thing that I can do for my health? Then honor that answer, even if it feels almost too small to count. Those tiny repeated actions rebuild trust in yourself. Over time, they shape your lab results, they improve your energy and your mobility, and improve your cardiovascular wellness. And along with that, improves your long term health and longevity. I am currently developing a program designed to help you take the steps needed to build a healthier life. It'll guide you through the same kind of gentle clarity work and tiny step planning we talked about today. And it includes ongoing support. If that sounds helpful, I will put a link in the video description to sign up and get updates to learn more. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you would like more nurse-guided, science-based videos on heart, metabolic, and joint health, check out my channel and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, please take good care of yourself.